Stained glass windows are one of the most striking art forms of human history, combining vibrant colors and intricate designs to create breathtaking displays of light and storytelling. These masterpieces, often associated with cathedrals and churches, have a fascinating history and a meticulous creation process. But have you ever wondered how this remarkable material is made? While stained glass windows are admired for their beauty, their construction requires a blend of artistry, technical skill, and an understanding of materials. Let's delve into the steps of how these mesmerizing windows were traditionally made and the techniques that artists used to bring them to life. Welcome to the History of Simple Things, where we delve into the fascinating history behind the little things that shape our world. The process begins with a detailed design, often referred to as a cartoon. This design serves as the blueprint for the entire window. In medieval times, these cartoons were drawn on large sheets of paper or parchment. The design was carefully planned to include every detail, from the intricate patterns to the placement of each piece of glass. Artists and patrons collaborated to ensure that the themes and images aligned with the intended message, whether it was a biblical story, a saint's life, or a symbolic representation of faith. These designs also accounted for the structural divisions of the window, such as lead lines and iron bars, which were necessary for stability. Once the design was finalized, the artist selected the glass. In the Middle Ages, glass was made by melting a mixture of silica or sand, potash, and lime in a furnace. The molten glass was then blown into a cylinder by skilled glassblowers, who cut and flattened it into sheets. This handmade glass, known as mouth-blown glass, had a unique texture and color variation, which added depth and richness to the final artwork. To achieve vibrant colors, metal oxides were added to the molten glass during production. For instance, cobalt produced blue, copper created green, gold resulted in red, and manganese yielded purple. This process of coloring glass, known as pot metal glassmaking, was a skillful and precise art in itself. After the glass was produced, it was time to cut the pieces to fit the cartoon design. The artist laid the cartoon on a flat surface and placed the colored glass sheets on top of it. Using a special tool called a grozing iron, they carefully scored and broke the glass along the lines of the design. This step required immense precision, as any mistake could compromise the integrity of the piece. Each fragment of glass was meticulously shaped to fit its place in the overall composition. In some cases, an additional technique called painstaking painting was used to add details. Artists painted facial expressions, folds of clothing, and other intricate elements onto the glass using a mixture of powdered glass, iron oxide, and water. These details were then fired in a kiln to fuse the paint onto the glass permanently. The next step involved assembling the pieces of glass into the window. This was done using strips of lead, which were soft and malleable enough to hold the glass securely. The lead strips, known as cames, had an H-shaped cross-section to accommodate the glass pieces on either side. The artist placed the glass pieces into the grooves of the lead cames, following the cartoon as a guide. At each joint, the cames were soldered together using molten lead to ensure stability. This stage required both technical skill and artistic judgment to maintain the integrity of the design while ensuring that the window could withstand the test of time. Once the glass pieces were secured within the lead framework, the entire window was reinforced with a waterproofing compound. A mixture of linseed oil, whiting or chalk powder, and lamp black or a fine black pigment was brushed onto the surface of the lead and glass. This compound not only sealed the window against the elements, but also provided additional rigidity. The excess compound was cleaned off, leaving the window ready for installation. Larger windows required additional support in the form of iron bars, which were embedded into the masonry of the building to hold the weight of the glass securely. Installation was the final step in the process. The completed stained glass panels were carefully transported to the site and placed into the prepared window frames. Craftsmen ensured that each panel was aligned correctly and securely fastened to the frame. The interplay of sunlight with the vibrant colors of the glass transformed these windows into luminous works of art. As light passed through the glass, it illuminated the interior of the building, casting colorful patterns on walls and floors. This interplay of light and color was often symbolic, representing divine illumination and the presence of the sacred. Stained glass windows were not just decorative, they served as visual storytelling tools, especially during the medieval period when literacy rates were low. Through these windows, the stories of the Bible, the lives of saints, and moral lessons were brought to life for worshippers. Each scene was carefully composed to convey a narrative, often using a combination of text, imagery, and symbolism. The positioning of the windows within the building was also significant, with east-facing windows often depicting scenes of resurrection and hope to catch the morning sun. Over time, stained glass techniques evolved, incorporating new technologies and styles. The Renaissance period saw a shift towards more realistic and detailed imagery, while the Gothic revival of the 19th century revived medieval methods and designs. In modern times, artists have experimented with abstract patterns and contemporary themes, using both traditional and modern glassmaking techniques. Despite these changes, the fundamental principles of stained glass craftsmanship remain rooted in the practices of the past. The making of stained glass windows is a testament to human creativity and ingenuity. It is a process that marries science, art, and spirituality to create objects of enduring beauty. Even today, the vibrant colors and intricate designs of stained glass windows continue to captivate and inspire people around the world. These windows not only illuminate spaces with their radiant hues, but also connect us to a rich tradition of craftsmanship and storytelling that spans centuries. The next time you admire a stained glass window, take a moment to appreciate the immense skill and dedication that went into its creation, and the timeless beauty that it brings to the world. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.